Hey, the FNAF 11 year anniversary vid. It's been a while since then. Speaking of, how long has it been? It can't be that long ago, right? It's been 11 months? Wait, what day is it today? Oh. Oh no. Hey man, you busy?
Nah man, what's up?
Have you seen what day it is today?
August 7th?
Yeah, the FNAF anniversary's tomorrow. Oh my god, bro, I totally forgot. What are we gonna do?
Let me make a few calls.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Five Nights at Freddy's 12-year anniversary video. It's hard to believe that Five Nights at Freddy's is already 12 years old today. That is insane. Today, in this very special day, me and a bunch of Five Nights at Freddy's content creators are going to talk about our favorite memories or just favorite moments within the FNAF community and or its games. I am so happy to be sharing with you guys today our favorite moments, memories, anything in general with the FNAF community, and thank you so much to every single creator who was involved and even those who couldn't join us today. I am so thankful for you guys and thank you for joining us today. So I think it's time for you guys to meet some of the creators who are gonna be joining us here today. Please take a look.
Hello there, everybody. My name is Mr. Yellowcat Productions. I'm really a big FNAF fan. I've been a fan for 10 years at least for now.
Hello, my name is Cash, and I own the Kid Cash and Shack channels.
Hello, I'm Purple JJS, and I make plush videos. Go subscribe to me, please. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the summer.
I'm John from the Epic Guys.
I'm Evan from the Epic Guys.
And we're both the Epic Guys together.
That's my name.
Hey guys, it's me, Steve New here.
Hello everyone, it's me, Hypocrite85. That's my name.
Hello guys, Toy Freddy here.
Top of the morning to you laddies. My name is Zard. He don't speak, but that's Rabbit. We make YouTube videos on the channel, Zard and Rabbit on YouTube, channel on YouTube. FNAF Gamer asked us to come here and talk about our favorite FNAF memories, so that's what we're gonna do right now.
Hello, I'm the Shadow Springlocks. Was it necessary to put the intro? Yes, because I think it's an iconic part of my channel at this point. Well, I know that this isn't my channel, but thank you for having me.
Hello everybody, my name is Coco Martinez. I'm a FNAF YouTuber who does reviews, plush videos, convention trips, as well as many more things over on my channel.
What is up everybody? It is the Gold Bear Show back here today, and we have a very special video for you all.
Hey everyone, my name is Staph, otherwise known as the Afton Archives. I'm a Five Nights at Freddy's enthusiast, collector, ultimate fan, whatever you want to call it, but I've been a part of the FNAF community since 2014 when the game first came out.
Hello, my name is Liftoff. I'm a FNAF concept maker. I'm also a FNAF news guy and a FNAF theorist guy, but it really depends on what mood I'm feeling.
Hi, my name is Rewen, I'm another FNAF creator.
Hey, I'm Lucky Bite, a FNAF YouTuber that sometimes does challenge runs, and what was that? Well, anyways, happy 12th anniversary, guys. And you too, Freddy.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is the Shadow Freddy Show for the 12th year anniversary of FNAF. I'm gonna share some FNAF stories that are really funny. Let's get started.
Alright, what's up, guys? I'm Forsaken Bonnie. I am the founder of Forsaken AR, and I now work on other projects like the Remains Security Breach mod.
What's up, fast friends? I'm Rubble Cloud Lioness.
Hello everybody, I'm Nightmare Zenith. I'm a small FNAF YouTuber who started back in 2024.
Hello everybody, I'm Galactic Nightmares 596 and I am a FNAF merch YouTuber.
Hello, I'm FNAF Dinos. I've been making FNAF content since 2018.
Hey guys, Ratty Cheese here.
Hi, I'm Cataclysmic. I'm a YouTuber who focuses on FNAF World and Five Nights at Freddy's 3 content.
Hello everyone, I'm that one FNAF guy, or Nick. I'm here today to talk about my personal favourite moments surrounding the franchise.
Hey guys, it's Jay, and I'm so happy to be a part of this collab today.
Hello, my name is Fernotic, and I make videos about gay FNAF SFMs.
Hi, I'm Slushy Step, and I make FNAF challenge videos.
Hello everyone, my name is Kip, aka Mr. Kip, here on YouTube, Twitter, wherever you can find me, that's where I'm at.
What's up fellas, I'm FNAF Gamer 64. You guys might know me already, but nonetheless I make funny bear videos on the internet.
What's up, I'm Sir55. I've been making FNAF videos for about 4 years now.
Hey, my name is Lotto Dots.
I have FNAF fatigue and have not interacted with the series in a meaningful way since middle school. So I'm the perfect guy to come and glaze this franchise.
Hello, I am the TNT Muffin, most well known for my animatronic documentaries and FNAF news videos.
Hey, what's good in the hood? It's your Irish lad, the Meme Scheme. Here to talk about, of course, good old FNAF nostalgia.
Hi, I'm Chicken Blocks and I'm a FNAF Shorts creator.
Hi everyone, and I am Reese, and I'm mostly known on YouTube for my FNAF collection as well as shorts and TikToks.
Of course, this isn't every creator featured in the video, we'll get to them in a bit, hear everybody's stories, but I just want to give a huge thank you to every single creator who was invited and accepted to be on this collab. And of course, every single one of you guys watching, thanks to you guys, me and all my other creator friends get to do what we love doing, which is talk about Five Nights at Freddy's or just anything in general. So thank you guys so much. This is a celebration not just of Five Nights at Freddy's, this is a celebration for the fans as well, because thanks to them, Five Nights at Freddy's would never be as big as it is today. But yeah fellas, that's enough from me. So sit back, grab a Freddy Fast Fanta, and enjoy.
My humble story with Five Nights at Freddy's actually began when I was 4 years old, I think. It began when it was like 2016 when like Sister Location first released, I think. At that time, I was really, I'm not joking, I was really hooked on to those FGTV videos, if you know them. I would watch people play Sister Location. I was so hooked on to that game. It may or may not be my actual favorite FNAF game of all time, but yeah, that's my story. And I'm currently just completing, I think, 10 years now with Five Nights at Freddy's. It's been a long road. Since it's 2026, I think, yeah, I've just continued a long road, and I'm just so happy to be with you guys. I'm really happy and grateful. Like, I mean, really. But yeah, that's all about my story. Let's cut to the next one. But no, genuinely, thank you guys. Thank all of you. Thank you, Scott CAWTHON. I mean, thank the fandom. Thank the creator. Scott always sacrificed everything just to make us happy. He sacrificed everything. He gave us the movies, the books, the games, just to make us happy. So I thank you dearly, Scott CAWTHON. Thank you for making this lovely family and fandom. And thank you guys for being such a welcoming fandom that's like family. Thank you.
My favorite FNAF memory, or I guess memories, would be the times when Scott would update his Scott Games website to tease upcoming FNAF projects. It was always so cool to see what people theorize about the teaser images, what it could reveal, or even be creative enough to make models, maps, and sometimes even fan games based off those teasers. On top of that, It was always just hype in general to just see how Scott would continue or improve from the previous FNAF game. And that's pretty much all for my favorite memories.
But now's not the time to plug my channel, because FNAF is 12 now! Holy guacamole! So, FNAF 5 Freddy Fazbear Bear is now 12 years old, hooray. I have been tasked with the job to tell you my favourite, thing that's ever happened in the FNAF community. So, let me think. Probably the time Matt got impregnated by Springtrap.
Oh, please don't get me Freddy, please don't get me Freddy.
It's probably the time when that fake image of that Bon plush was going around, and everyone was falling for it and thinking it was real. I totally didn't fall for it. But I just think it was really funny because everyone was like, oh my god, new secret plush. But then it just wasn't real. I just think it was really funny. So that was my personal favourite thing that's ever happened in the community. So on to the next guy.
Freddys has changed me in a way no other thing is possible. I just loved every single moment of being in the Five Nights at Freddy's community. But I would have to say, just talking with people in the community, we all share one big thing in common, and just either brainstorming ideas, talking about the game, talking about new things coming out, just talking, you know? FNAF fandom is very social, and I'm so proud of it, so happy Five Nights at Freddy's 12th anniversary to all.
Hey guys, my name is EndoChica83, and I'm here with FNAF Gamer and many other amazing Five Nights at Freddy's YouTubers, because Five Nights at Freddy's is turning 12. Honestly, I genuinely cannot believe it. I remember first seeing Five Nights at Freddy's around the time it came out. Maybe I think I first got introduced to it in 2016 maybe. I remember in Walmart seeing all of the Five Nights at Freddy's plushies, with my first plushie actually being Rockstar Freddy. If Scott CAWTHON didn't get that hate comment and didn't create Five Nights at Freddy's, a big chunk of my life would be taken out. And if I were to see Scott CAWTHON at any time, I would definitely tell him how much he impacted my life and the lives of many others. The Five Nights at Freddy's community has been one of the most humble communities I have joined, and I wouldn't have became friends with amazing people such as FNAF Gamer, J Fazbear, Galaxy Gamer.
Intermission time.
My favorite part in Five Nights at Freddy's community probably has to be watching Markiplier's Let's Plays. There's something about them. He's just super funny when he makes his Five Nights at Freddy's Let's Plays, and I just love them. Not to mention, it's a huge part of Five Nights at Freddy's history. But anyway, I'm gonna pass the spotlight to the next person after me, and thank you for having me on this video, FNAF Gamer, and thank you so much, Scott CAWTHON, for a beautiful franchise.
And we have been in the FNAF community for a decent bit of time. We're not OGs, but we wanted to talk about some of our favourite, experiences of being in the FNAF community. Now, I think we didn't have any particular favourite moments, but I think generally we had just general experiences and things that the FNAF community has brought us that we wanted to talk about. I think the first of which just being what we really like doing, which is
buying
what is it, Owen?
expensive FNAF toys.
Yeah, buying expensive FNAF toys. Collecting the merch has always been a big thing for us, and it's just something where it's an enjoyable hobby that we have, and that's something the FNAF community has done for us. Because without the FNAF community, there wouldn't be the merch, and we wouldn't be able to buy it and have fun, you know, buying it and growing a collection and stuff.
Without the FNAF community, I would have money.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Since it is, you know, FNAF's 12th anniversary finally, which is kind of crazy to think, 12 years. It is good every year to sort of celebrate and sort of think about what we appreciate from what the community has brought us. And I think probably another thing is it's helped us probably become closer friends. I think you could agree, Owen.
Yeah, because we before we had FNAF, we didn't really chat too much, did we? When we went to FNAF, we would have got really good friends.
Because FNAF just gave us something to talk about, something we shared in common that we enjoyed. And not just us. Like, I've met so many other people, you know, through, you know, FNAF and its community that are really awesome and amazing people that I would have never have met if, you know, it wasn't for FNAF existing. And also just our YouTube channel has, I hate to say, you know, it's not really a self-promo, but that's something we're very proud of, very happy with, and that's another thing from the FNAF community. FNAF has just become such a big part of our lives. It's done so much, and like, I don't know, I just feel like without it, there'd be so much of our lives missing. It's hard to even think what our lives would be like without FNAF, just because it's done, you know, so much for us. And once again, thank you to FNAF Gamer 64 for letting us be a part of this collab. Subscribe to FNAF Gamer 64.
Yep.
And Epic Guys out. Oh, and one more thing I love about FNAF. Toy Chica's face!
I'm just gonna talk with this little guy because I don't have like anything else to talk with, so yeah. Anyway, thank you FNAF's Gamer64 for inviting me to be on this video. So I was deciding to say like some of my favorite like moments with the FNAF community, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start. So one of my favorite things that has happened to me in the FNAF community is meeting Jay Fazbear. He was like the first friend that I made in the community, and from there I joined his Discord server, and from there I made a bunch of cool people. Like I met a bunch of cool people, made a bunch of cool friends that I even ended up meeting in real life, so that was really awesome. And yeah, as well as another thing that has like really, you know, been really cool to experience in the FNAF community is like going to the FNAF movies, like seeing people that know like FNAF 2 and getting to chat with them. It's just been, it's awesome, as well as like going to conventions and seeing cosplays, and again, meeting FNAF like community, meeting the FNAF community, and as well as starting my channel, because I got to meet like people that enjoy my content, and as well as like they also enjoy FNAF. It's just been so cool to, you know, have a FNAF channel and see that people actually like my content, and you know, I get to do stuff I love to do for like YouTube. It's just awesome. But yeah, thank you FNAF Gamer 64 for letting me be on this. I know my freaking thing was my speech right now is really long, so I'm gonna let the other, you know, creators go. And yeah, I love you guys.
I think he likes FNAF.
FNAF is generally one of the best things that have ever happened to me. Most of my interests nowadays, one way or another, had stemmed from FNAF itself, such as most of the bands I listen to, what do I do with art nowadays, game development, 3D modeling, all that sort of stuff, and it had provided me and so many people so many great opportunities, and it's amazing, and I'll always be very thankful of that. I'm always very thankful that this franchise exists. I'm very thankful for this community that we've built up for the past 8 years, with people, you know, being supportive, being creative, and being just about anything. And this is probably the first time I've seen that in a fandom, honestly. It surprises me that, you know, this whole franchise has been going on for 12 years. This is insane. This is like that long ago. And I'm very excited for what's to come in the future, especially with whatever Sealwood brought to the table with Secret of the Mimic. That is like very interesting. It's a very interesting take, and I just cannot wait what they'll do next. So yeah.
And I don't know why I'm here, but today I think I'm supposed to say something about like my favorite FNAF experience. I guess if I'm saying that, one of my most favorite FNAF memories is probably going to Halloween Horror Nights to see Freddy Fazbear himself. He was really there, and it was pretty cool. And yeah, that's really it. I'm probably gonna go, but who is that? Oh no.
My favorite Five Nights at Freddy's moment has to be when I was first introduced to the franchise. I was back in 2014, and I was sitting on a bench by myself when two people came up to me asking if I've ever heard of the franchise called Five Nights at Freddy's. Of course, I told them that I haven't, and then they handed me their phone, said, "You gotta check this out." And I remember sitting there and playing the first game the entire recess. And then when I got home, of course, I had to look it up. And ever since then, I was just addicted to the point where everything I do now has to do with FNAF. And I don't think I would be who I am today without this franchise. I have met so many amazing people, FNAF Gamer 64, Liftoff, Gold Bear. I am so glad I met them. And just, this franchise is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. Thank you, Five Nights at Freddy's, and thank you, FNAF Gamer 64, for inviting me to this.
So, my favorite memory with FNAF, man, what to choose for, because there's so many good ones. Right? You got when I watched the FNAF 2 movie, and there was this fucking dude named Jeremiah, and man, he was something special. It was magic on screen the first time I saw him. I've got to say, my favorite moment is when Jeremiah punched Mike Schmidt in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I'll never forget that. That really hit home for me.
Alright, my favorite FNAF moment probably has to be in when Daco beat 50/20 mode. Because, like, after that, I just felt so motivated, I felt so inspired, I felt like I could just do anything. If Daco could be 50/20 mode, then I could just put my mind to anything and anything could happen.
Thank you to FNAF Gamer for inviting us. Thank you to him. Subscribe to him. And happy 12th anniversary. Hello to everybody else that's here. Right, bye-bye.
Where do I begin? I can't believe FNAF is 12 years old. Now, I will admit I haven't been there from the start, but I've known about it from the start. You know, I remember somewhat when it first came out. I was like very, very young, so I don't freaking know. But I remember growing up. No, I've been I've been a fan of it, but like, I think just around 2020, I know guys, pretty late, but that's when I started like really getting into the franchise, you know what I mean? That's when I started like getting more into the franchise. I've known about it again when it first came out, but again, it's just been it's still 6 years, you know, of my life. I've put a lot into this franchise. You know, it matters a lot to me. I know it's crazy to say about a franchise, a video game, but, you know, FNAF has been there for me a lot. Again, you know, and it's just something so enjoyable to be a part of. You know, it's just something fun to be in, you know, part of the community, part of, it impacted me a lot in certain aspects of my life, but in a good way. Sorry, and I'm just going from the top of my head, I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I can't, like, it's crazy, this freaking franchise is 12 years old, over a decade. I remember when I freaking hit a decade. I remember that. I can't believe it's in 2 years from now. You know, time is flying, and I guess I'm just gonna say a little message. You guys should, you know, use your time wisely, because not just FNAF. I know I'm supposed to be talking about FNAF, but time goes by quickly, so you should spend it with people you care about, you know, and
You know, I just think, you just spend it with people you care about. But going back to the topic, big thing I do, making customs. It's so enjoyable for me, and because I just appreciate the characters, like for FNAF, I just, like, the characters mean a lot to me. And I know it's kind of different from other series. For example, like a TV show, you would care more, like you'd care about those characters, and here they appear in one game and they have some lore, but it's just the characters, they're just, it's, you guys should know what I'm talking about. Maybe people that aren't into FNAF don't, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, I'm kind of running low on time, so just thank you for having me, FNAF Gamer 64. Subscribe to everybody in this video, but just, again, I'm sorry that I keep reading myself, but FNAF has been there for me a lot. That's how I made a lot of friends. I made a lot of friends along the way. I've just a lot like that in general. I've made a lot of friends and memories, and like going to the movies, FNAF 2 movie. Yes, I saw the FNAF 1 movie. I'm just specifically specifying the FNAF 2 movie. I dressed up for that one. I made a lot of friends. Freaking met my best friends through this franchise. But FNAF, I hope you continue to grow and hope the direction they're going in leads to something. Because I know they've been going with the whole mimic thing. I've warmed up to it. I actually kind of like it. And I don't think they should bring Afton's era back because, Afton's era is closed. But that's enough about that. Before I leave, I should mention, the community has also given back so much to me. For example, all the fan art and fan projects that people have done for me. I just can't believe, genuinely can't believe that people take time out of their day or week, or just anything to make, it's insane. And again, I met a lot of nice people, and this feels like a right place to be. Thank you for having me, FNAF Gamer 64, and enjoy the rest of the video.
My favorite memory from FNAF over the years, especially with the community, was when I attended PAX West back in 2024. There was so many things going on at that event, like people making paper pals and the coloring pages from Help Wanted 2, people seeing the wet floor bot in person, including meeting with Glamrock Freddy, Roxanne Wolf, and meeting Freddy Fazbear, the birthday boy himself. And I forgot to mention that this was all a part for Steel's booth at the event when they were celebrating FNAF's 10th anniversary. There was many other things going on, like people playing games and winning prizes, playing Secret of the Mimic in VR before it even came out as a little demo, seeing some of the actual animatronics like Eclipse and Jackie, as well as the most highlight of the trip was meeting some of the FNAF YouTubers.
I could share to you guys 100,000 memories I've had with Five Nights at Freddy's over the years, but this one kind of hits me the most because it is how my entire channel started, and it all comes down to me back in 2016 walking into a Walmart and finding my first ever piece of Five Nights at Freddy's merchandise. It wasn't a mystery mini, it wasn't a keychain, heck, it wasn't even an action figure. It was the McFarlane Toys Five Nights at Freddy's Pirates Cove set with Foxy. A part of me wants to say that if I never walked into Walmart that day back in 2016, I don't think I would be collecting anything Five Nights at Freddy's related, or would I even be a part of the Five Nights at Freddy's community at all.
And as far as my favorite moment, I could say a lot of things, whether it was watching Markiplier play it for the first time, playing it on my own for the first time, meeting celebrities and voice actors from the game at conventions, watching the FNAF movie in theaters for the first time, going to Halloween Horror Nights and seeing the animatronics in person. Like, I could say so much, but I think my all-time favorite moment in the community is at Level Up Expo a few years ago. Kellen, the voice of Glamrock Freddy and Funtime Freddy, you guys know, and Regular Sauce came to Level Up Expo in Las Vegas. I drove 36 hours to Las Vegas to go to that convention just so I could meet Regular Sauce and Kellen Goff play Glamrock Freddy at the convention. Kellen had on a microphone and he was trailing behind Freddy and saying voice lines and talking to people. So getting to see Regular Sauce's amazing Freddy build, plus Kellen voice him as he was walking around the convention. And I happened to get super close to them and got a picture with both of them. And I had met Kellen earlier in the day at his booth. So when he saw me standing there, he was like, "I remember you, but said it as Freddy." And it just meant so much to me. He is one of my favorite voice actors, and Glamrock Freddy is one of my favorite animatronics. So, I mean, I've met Matthew and Skeet and Miriam and Kevin Foster, but to me, that, because it was so personal, it's probably my all-time favorite moment, and I will never forget it. So I will continue to keep loving Five Nights at Freddy's and have it a part of my life. And I'm so happy that we're celebrating 12 years of Five Nights at Freddy's. That's mind-blowing to think about. But I just wanted to share my little piece of something heartfelt to me in the FNAF community, and I hope we continue to celebrate many, many, many more years to come of Five Nights at Freddy's. That's gonna do it for me. Thanks so much for listening.
Now, something you might not know, FNAF Gamer has put me on the ban list from ever appearing in any of his videos ever again. But thankfully, after enough convincing, bribing, he let me back in. I don't know if he mentioned it earlier, but I did make the thumbnail for this video. I was paid $0 for this, so Dominic gave me a little script thingy telling me what is my favorite moment of all of FNAF history. Well, it was obviously when Bendy and the Dark Revival came out. Like, come on, bro. In all seriousness, it has to be the day that FNAF was gonna have their big collab announcement. Everyone's speculating whether it was gonna be Fortnite or Stumble Guys. Yeah, we were kind of stupid back then. And then the Walton Files dropped this, and people actually believe this, including Discussing Film. Jesus Christ, this was hilarious to witness in real time. But anywho, later that day we did get the announcement of FNAF and Dead by Daylight, which I thought was kind of mid. I love the William Afton movie skin, and that's about it. But yeah, seeing the whole community come around at something super funny is one of the best memories I've had of this entire franchise. So thanks again, FNAF Gamer, for having me like last year, and I'll be back next year to haunt you again. And before I go, I would like to share some clips of me and FNAF Gamer. Me and FNAF Gamer are pretty competitive when it comes to video games, and I always seem to win. He advised me to never show these publicly, but shh, he'll never know.
It's high score Torchica.
Oh. No. Is that 3 out of 3?
No.
Yes. Is that 3 out of 3?
That's 1 out of 3.
Yo. How many did you win? 0?
Bro, we do not.
Damn, bro.
Hello.
Oh, okay, bro.
Yo, it's me, Spring, from the highly controversial plush series, Spring. I'm here to tell you to go subscribe to my channel right here, right now. And also, don't forget to... When's episode 5? Well, that's my cue to leave.
Okay, so I've been given 5 minutes for my section, and I have no budget, as YouTube, despite having 4K subs, still refuses to pay me because I don't have the watch hours yet. Alright, let's see. My favorite memory from this franchise is... Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really even know. Call me crazy, but I think the week leading up to Dead by Daylight and Secret of the Mimic was probably like one of the craziest weeks for me. I'm not even talking about like the PTB either. I'm talking about like right before Springtrap launched with all of his skins and stuff. I don't know, something about the hype that week really just sat well with me. I remember when Secret of the Mimic first came out, I just sat there and I binged as much of the game as I could within one day. Side note, I still have not finished the game as I'm too lazy to get the final ending. But I did the same thing with FNAF Security Breach, so I don't want to hear it. I remember all I had eaten the entire day as well was just an entire loaf of bread and just like some chocolate, I think it was like Lindor chocolate, I don't even know. The thing that sucks the most is that I actually had to leave out of town the day that FNAF X Dead by Daylight was dropping, so I had to wait an entire week building up even more hype for myself just to see everything. Like, yeah, I know we had the public test build before, but you don't actually keep any of the rewards you get from a PTB, and we didn't get any skins until launch, so I was super excited to see that and all the bug fixes, like Invisible Springtrap. Another good memory I have is low-key like around when FNAF 6 dropped. I was at a party with one of my IRL besties, and all of a sudden he tells me that a new FNAF game dropped out of nowhere. I was super young too, so I didn't follow any FNAF pages, and I was always out of the loop. I just remember that he said that like Springtrap and Circus Baby and the Puppet were all back, and I was so hyped up. I immediately got home and downloaded the game on Steam, and then I was super confused when you have that beginning pizza minigame. Then I got to the part with the Circus Baby switch up, and I'm not even kidding you, I had to shut it off and leave for the night. For context, I was playing in my basement with all the lights off by myself, and my old house used to be genuinely haunted, no joke. I was also like 9, so shut up. Every time I think of this, I always get nothing but joy from that era. I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm posting about my Five Nights at Freddy's collection every day. That's me. So follow me. All right, this is the end of my talking section. Time to sing. LARPing in the corridor, you cannot fight. Whatever you say will not stop us through the night. Your heart is beating faster, oh look what you've done. Let's have some fun, now the night's begun. Power's looking thin again, oxygen low. You seem so tight, frick. The cameras are the only thing that will help. Dang, two in a row? Man, I'm freaking washed. Ow. Devastation is closing in, like the darkness that's within. Deviation from all your tasks, hiding under that mask. Don't bother asking what's our name, all you need to know is pain. Wiping the blood that's on the floor, we know that you want more. Hit the lights so everybody stand. Ooh, oh, oh, go clap for the Fazbear Band. We know you seek tragedy, oh there goes your sanity. We are right outside your window. Ow. Forgot how tough this beat low-key kinda goes. Shut up! Oh, okay. Decorations that are always on display. You always think how long you're gonna have to stay, questioning everything that you may think is a real big deal. We know that this is surreal. Just know that the horrors are never gonna stop. They're always trying to find a way in without a thought. The man who took our lives away, we treat him like dust. We rust each night that you lose our trust. Devastation is closing in, like the darkness that's within. Deviation from all your tasks, hiding under that mask. Don't bother asking what's our names, all you need to know is pain. Wiping the blood that's on the floor, we know that you want more. Oh, oh, I know you are scared of what this place will do to you. Always come prepared. Whoa, oh, do you wanna make it out alive? And survival will do to you. Wait. No, I don't wanna die. Please no. Please no. Please, I don't wanna die. I don't wanna die.
It's kind of hard to narrow down my favorite moment when it comes to like all of FNAF, but I have to say FNAF 2 hype was crazy. I loved watching like theories and stuff. So when FNAF 2 came out, like one of the most like vivid memories I have is watching that very like first few seconds of Withered Bonnie appearing on the screen. Oh my god, the hype was unlike nothing else. Like I was way too young to be watching it, but I don't know, it just really hit different. You know, falling in love with this game, seeing theories coming out, seeing Bonnie, like I even had made like comics. I have comics that I found recently that I drew when I was younger of like the gap between FNAF 1 and FNAF 2, trying to figure out where like the missing limbs were, because I was like, that was a whole mystery. And FNAF 4 as well, oh my god, it terrified me. That was so scary, and like I just love FNAF 4. And FNAF 6, Henry's speech is also one of the most emotional moments of FNAF like ever. Just having that moment of ending, finality, or the lore coming together. Just I still go back and watch people's reactions to it, because I think newer fans don't realize how generational that was. Like all these theories have been out. We've had like setbacks with the FNAF 4 moment. We'd had so many like just so much happened, so much. But to get some definitive answers, even if like the lore is messy today, like people forget it was messy for a long time, and we eventually got answers. So those would be my favorite memories. And also telling my grandparents the lore whilst hiding a lot of the darker stuff in the show, that's a memory I have with my grandparents still, which is a really nice one. Anyway, that's all from me, Rewan. Catch you later.
If you told me years ago that my obsession with FNAF would lead to me actually building my own platform, refining my skills with editing, and collaborating with awesome creators like the ones in this video, I wouldn't have believed you. But that's the magic of FNAF. It has a unique power to take passive gamers and turn them into active creators, theorists, and artists. It gave me a voice, a creative outlet, and a skill set that I carry with me into every single project I touch going forward. The truth is, I want to be where I am, doing what I love without the community and the indie horror phenomenon that started in a cramped security office. It's been a wild ride, and honestly, we're just getting started. Thanks a lot, guys, and hopefully you can catch me in one of my videos next.
Alright, so, this dates back all the way to 2016. And I remember I had to do homework in the library. And, you know, a bunch of my friends were there, so we had to do it too. And, you know, I was like, man, frick that homework, dude. So I went on the computer and I searched up Five Nights at Freddy's SFMs. I was really into them. This was before FNAF Plush videos. And then, you know, I was watching Andrew John 100, some other people, and, you know, and some of the videos that didn't even talk, you know, and just had the music in the background. I was watching those. I was been watching them for like 30 minutes. Nobody knew. And the guy next to me, you know, he was tapping on my shoulder. He was like, yo, man, like, what are you watching? I was like, oh, FNAF SFMs. He was like, oh, okay, can you search that up on my computer? And I was like, yeah, sure. So, you know, and everybody in the library wanted to know, like, what I was watching. So everybody in the library, you know, searched up FNAF SFMs, and we were all watching it at the same time. It was like a moment in history. But then, you know, party pooper, the librarian came by, and she was like, oh, well, you're going to get in trouble for this. She called the vice principal, and then, you know, we went to the principal's office, and, you know, we got in trouble, and then my mom had to talk to me. It was a whole story. But, yeah, that was just one of the funny stories. Second story, it's called the Cookie Monster story. So, back in 2015, before the FNAF plushies were a thing, I had this Cookie Monster, right? The mouth opens, you can put cookies in it, they don't come out of the backpack. So then I was like, huh, that kind of looks like Withered Bonnie. So I opened the mouth wide open, I put duct tape so it could stay there, I put some bunny ears on it, and I put some red eyes to make sure, you know, he looked like Withered Bonnie. And he already had teeth, so I didn't even have to deal with that. But then, you know, I was like 8 years old at the time, so, you know, I got scared. And then my mom had to hide it from me for about like 2 years, and, well, you know, I got it back, I think like 2 years later. And yeah, I just laughed at it and thought it was funny. Okay, so this is the third story. When I beat Night 5 on FNAF 2. I was in 4th grade, right? And, you know, we were allowed to bring our devices to school at the time. And, well, you know, I was playing FNAF 2 like always, and, you know, my friends were huddling up and stuff, and it was Valentine's Day, and we were watching, I think, the Cloudy Chance of Meatballs, I think that's what it's called. And, yeah, we were watching that, but I was like, man, I've already watched this movie. So we played FNAF 2 and stuff, and we're beating Night 5. I lost a bunch of times. But then there was one time I was so close. We're at night, you know, Night 5 and stuff, and it was like 5 a.m. And then, you know, we won, and bro, I remember we screamed at the top of our lungs in class. And then, you know, teacher got mad at us and she took my iPad away. A whole different story. Yeah, it sucked, but it was a core memory. Okay, well, I call this the Shadow Freddy story because, you know, it involves Shadow Freddy. So, back in 2019, right, I went to my friend's house and I brought all my FNAF plushies. And, well, he saw that I had Shadow Freddy and he was like, hey, man, can I have Shadow Freddy? And, you know, I was more of a Golden Freddy guy. I didn't really have a heart for Shadow Freddy at the time. And then, you know, I was just like, sure, but you got to give me it back in a week. And I was like, all right, man, I get you, man. So a week turned into 2 weeks, 2 weeks turned into a month turned into a year, and then 2 years, and well, a third year went around. It was 2022, and you know, I was just like, man, I want to start a FNAF Plus channel. And then, you know, I called my friend back. I was like, yo, man, can I have that Shadow Freddy plush back? He was just like, yeah, man, I don't use it no more. And you know, we were in, like, I think high school, and I was just like, all right. So I went over to his house and, well, I picked it up and, you know, well, here's right here. This is him right here. And, well, that's it. That's it of the stories. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you, Foxy Gaming, for letting me be on here. I really appreciate it, man. And, you know, I'm just gonna keep on making videos and stuff right now. So, yeah, peace out, man. Happy 12th year anniversary.
And holy crap, what a wild ride the last 12 years have been. I mean, I've been a fan since the beginning, so, like, this is just insane to think that it's been 12 years already. But it's just been such a big part of my life, man. Like, I would not be who I am today, obviously, without this series. But anyways, because of that, I couldn't think of just one thing that, like one favorite moment. So I've got two. One from the Scott era, and two, well, not two from the Steel era, but yeah, two in total. So, from the Scott era, I remember when that first FNAF 3 teaser dropped. Like, everyone was just trying to figure out, who is this guy? Like, people, like, mirroring the image to make it look like something, trying to figure out, like, but of course, at the end it was Springtrap, but even if I look back now, it still doesn't look like Springtrap, man. But as for the Steel era, it has to be from the 2023, State of Play, where they announced the Help Wanted 2 trailer. Like, we were expecting, like, a Ruin teaser, if anything. But no, we got a new game! Like, what? like, we had Ruin coming out in, like, I think it was, at that point, 2 months? But then we just got Help Wanted 2. It's like, huh? Where did this come from? Like, we ate so good in 2023, man. And 2024, when the 10-year anniversary happened, we got, like, 3 demos and a new game. Like, that was crazy. But anyways, thanks FNAF Gamer for letting me be a part of this video. And here's a 12 more years. See ya.
Hey guys, it's Rumble. My favorite FNAF moment / memory is probably whenever I watched this SFM series called Old Memories. It's by Abby SFM. It's like one of my favorite series ever I've watched of FNAF. It's just inspired so many cool things I've made, including the Spring Diner, my Gmod series, and stuff like that. Really cool series. That's one of my favorite memories.
So I want to preface this by saying thank you FNAF Gamer64 for inviting me. I think this is going to be an awesome video. So I think my best memory with FNAF is probably the community, specifically when I started out. So when I started at YouTube, I'm going to be honest, my videos weren't great. They were pretty bad. And you can even go back and see them. They're, like, I've gotten so much better since I started out. And even though my videos weren't very good, I was still welcomed into the community with open arms. Like, I wasn't expecting that to happen, especially considering I was such a small YouTuber back then. And I'm still pretty small, but I'm definitely bigger than I was back then. And they just welcomed me with open arms, and it was so awesome. And the FNAF community is just full of awesome and creative people. So I do think that's my best memory with FNAF. Thank you for inviting me, and happy 12th anniversary.
Five Nights at Freddy's, it's changed my life in a lot of ways. More ways than one, as a matter of fact. And that might sound crazy, because it started off as some silly little bear game in a creepy atmosphere, creepy pizzeria. And watching the series itself evolve from Matt Pat saying that it was just a bunch of Chuck E. Cheese employees that got killed, all the way to what we have now. We have God Victim, we have something else. And so it kind of feels like the FNAF community has expanded beyond any expectation, and that's how it has felt for my life too. Now, you guys know I make FNAF content, everyone here makes FNAF content, all these amazing creators in this video, and without Five Nights at Freddy's, most likely none of us would be where we are right now. So I think me and everyone else has to give a fair thank you to Five Nights at Freddy's and Scott Cawthon and Steelable Studios. Like him or not, yeah, they could be the dumbest people on the planet, but they have shaped our childhoods, and some part of them has also shaped our lives. You know, I personally never expected to be a FNAF YouTuber. I always thought it'd be Roblox, but the FNAF community has honestly been so, like, nice and welcoming to me. And even though there have been times where the FNAF community is extremely toxic, FNAF Twitter, for example, there's also times where they're extremely lighthearted. And that's how it's felt for me, mainly. Now, that may be because I'm in the merch community and not in the actual gaming community anymore, but still, you know, there's a level, and definitely feels more civil in the merch parts. Now, without Five Nights at Freddy's, to be honest, I probably would not have met some of the amazing YouTubers I've met today. And I grew up watching, like, those Gmod videos, Komodo Gaming, Spy Cakes, Beautiful OB. I was also watching the FNAF plush videos by Gabe's World. I was watching Cookie Swirl C unboxings. I did used to watch Animatronic. I think I found her when she made the Pizza Sim video. So, and Markiplier too. Of course, can't leave out Markiplier and MatPat. I've been watching those guys forever. Dawko. Those guys have all really inspired me to be where I am now. And I get to talk to amazing people like Jay Fazbear, Mystic Kip, and FNAF Gamer 64, who has graciously invited me into this collab. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's really all I have to say. And yeah, happy 12-year anniversary, FNAF. Thank you for changing my life.
FNAF has had a major impact on me and others by finding new friends and to feel inspired to create. It will be interesting to see where this series goes next.
So when it comes down to like reliving and like telling a story about like past memories within the franchise or within the community, it's a little more difficult for me to talk about, at least because of how easily I tend to like try forgetting about stuff from the past. But when it comes to Five Nights at Freddy's, I tend to love the community a lot more because there's so many different aspects to the community because of the amount of different things you could see coming out of the community, because there are a bunch of different like sides to it. We have like news accounts that report a bunch of news. There's artists, there are custom plush makers, there's plush tubers, there's like just normal YouTubers that like talk about the games and stuff. And everyone's different in their own ways. Everyone appreciates, everyone loves the franchise in their own ways. And it's just insane to see because I try to put myself out there in like every aspect of the community and see how different one another can actually be. And it's crazy because I've made so many friends throughout all these years, and it's wild to me because I know younger me would be shocked with the guy I am now, with how I am with the community, at least because I used to be like more of a quiet, shyer guy when I was a lot younger, and now I try to push myself out there a lot more, obviously with making YouTube videos, reviewing stuff and giving my opinion out to the world, or making news posts on Instagram and Twitter and talking about like different little things that people might gain some interest to. And it's insane. I love the community, and there's been a lot of fun moments, obviously, within at least my time in the community. I've loved the games since like the second one started to gain popularity. So the games just like grow bit by bit. There's obviously going to be a lot of ups and downs, but that's truly what happens to like everything nowadays. And some like moments that I can like personally think of throughout all this time is there was a time when Funko was going live, like showcasing a bunch of like future upcoming products that are going to be released in stores, especially when it came around to the time of the Curse of Dreadbear wave coming out. They were doing a live stream showcasing that off, and I remember asking them about a specific day of release for the plushies, and the social media team, they saw the name Ratty Cheese and they all laughed at it, and it was a funny time for that, because of how early on that was with my persona, I guess, on YouTube and everything.
Someone, I think it was Ratty Cheese, asked if
Ratty Cheese
asked when the FNAF plushies are releasing, and check out our social channels. There are more details there. If not, then you keep an eye on the channels.
Keep an eye out, yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun to think back, because there's obviously a bunch of funny moments, and it's just it's fun to think about. At least some other moments I love to think back to are the people. I've had a bunch of larger well-known names follow me, and a lot of those people were people that I used to watch and love watching all the time. I've had people like Andy Matronic, Froky, Maso, and so many others follow me, and it's crazy. I know that younger me would be shocked with all the things I've accomplished now, and it's crazy to think about, at least for me, because I don't know, I used to love all these content creators, and now I'm trying to become one myself, for people to be like, wow, oh my god, it's Ratty Cheese. And I don't know, it's just it's crazy to me, because I've had people come to me being like, oh my god, thank you so much for all this and all the news and stuff, or oh my god, Ratty Cheese, oh my god, he noticed me. And I'm like, wow, because that used to be me at one point, and I'm glazing myself a little here, but it's just insane to me, I guess. The community and the franchise has impacted me so much throughout all these years, and I don't think I would be doing this type of stuff if it wasn't for the franchise and stuff, and the community, and how they've impacted me throughout all of these years, because it's been a crazy ride. All these years, there's obviously been a bunch of ups and downs within the road, but if you try to push the negatives aside and lean more towards the positives, you can really see how different things can be by changing the things you do. So honestly, it's insane to think that this franchise is now about to be 12 years old, and it's just insane, because I basically grew up with all of this stuff. So yeah, it's a little hard to think of what much else to say, but yeah, this community, this franchise, it truly impacts someone once they really dig in deep for so many years. So yeah, thank you, FNAF Gamer, for inviting me to be part of this.
FNAF is responsible for the strangest rabbit hole of my life. So when I was in high school, I had a friend, shout out to Nate, who showed me a Markiplier video of him playing one of the FNAF games. I don't remember exactly which one, but it was around the time FNAF 3 came out, so it was likely that one. But that's what got me into the series, and more specifically, I found myself within the SFM animation community, and that community inspired me to want to become an animator and make similar types of stuff to that. And that was at a point of my life where I really didn't know what I wanted to do, because my performing and singing career just wasn't going anywhere, so I was just completely stuck and about to graduate. So I was like, oh my god, what do I do? And yeah, that's when my teachers noticed how much fun I was having with the animations, and they said, hey, maybe you can go do that at university. I'm like, oh yeah, I could. So 3 years of a degree later, I landed my first film animation job. I got to have my name in the credits of a Netflix movie, and then only a year after that, I got to have my name in the credits of an actual feature film that went to cinemas, The Lost Tiger. And that was such a dream come true for me, to be able to work on that and see my name up there, and it's all thanks to Five Nights at Freddy's, of all things. So I owe so much to this franchise, not even including my YouTube channel. Freaking hell, my YouTube channel 9 years ago started out with Five Nights at Freddy's, and last year had a big massive surge when I started doing FNAF World Challenge videos, which is where I met some of the awesomest people that I've met on the internet through the FNAF community as a whole, both when I started doing it in the past and all the new people I've met in the last year doing the FNAF World videos. So I owe a lot to FNAF. Thank you for changing my life in the weirdest but best way possible.
I think my favorite memory of the FNAF franchise is kind of just 2020, 2021. Well, I don't remember the exact... Hold on. When did FNAF security breach? My favorite memory was the 2021 to early 2022 period when Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach first released. It is the most active I think I've ever seen the fandom. I was mainly on, like, the TikTok side of things, and the cosplays and the art surrounding the release was all really, really cool. Other than that, FNAF Gamer said I can list multiple, so I'm taking full advantage of that and shouting out my GOAT, Eth Goes Boom. Eth Goes Boom is a Five Nights at Freddy's YouTuber who plays games as the animatronics. He roleplays as the animatronics themselves, playing games. And it's not even just FNAF games. He's had Freddy Fazbear play Slender the Arrival. But the specific memory I kind of associate with his channel is when I went to my grand's, and specifically me and my sister watching Phantom Foxy plays One Night at Freddy's 3. I don't know why that memory is the most standout thing about Eth Goes Boom to me. It is like realistically kind of a nothing burger video in the long run, considering he has massive story arcs that go on. But there's something about that memory that feels very nostalgic. Anyway, I'll stop yapping. Wait, I'm gonna yap about one more thing. Never mind. Five Nights at Freddy's 3's release and the amount of passion that went around on that game and the community that surrounded it. I consider that a cool memory of Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Moving on to the next person, whoever is after me. If I'm last, this is gonna be really awkward.
And me personally, I am tied between two. And those two are both of the movie's releases and the Dead by Daylight collab. So I guess it would be three. For me personally, I remember watching the first movie with my brother at home before school one day, and I had to wake up at like 5 AM for it, but it was so worth it. And the second one, I went with my mum to the cinema. And I remember me and my brother watching the Dead by Daylight live stream where they announced like a bunch of stuff for the FNAF chapter. And then when it actually released, I remember me and Lil playing it together. But me personally, I think I'd have to go with the first movie's release. It was so monumental for the franchise itself. It was also insanely monumental for my channel and me, because this movie basically reignited my love for the franchise. And it also allowed me to do some insanely cool things, such as a 45-minute video on Freddy Fazbear. And I also managed to do an interview with actor Ryan Renicki, who is insanely cool and you should definitely check him out. So big shout out to Freddy Fazbear the GOAT, but yeah.
FNAF is turning 12 years old already? Oh my goodness. I was asked to share my favorite memory of FNAF or related to its community, and I have a few memories that I'd love to share with you guys. During my time as a FNAF YouTuber, I have met nothing but incredible people so far. I absolutely love this community, and my favorite memory from it right now is probably me hitting 1,000 subscribers. That day, I was just so happy, and it was such a happy day for me. FNAF community has shown me unconditional love and support over the past 3 years, and I am eternally grateful for that. For my favorite memory related to Five Nights at Freddy's for the games, it would probably have to be the era of classic Scott games, because I feel like the community was really strong and really positive and really happy then, more than it is now, because I think now it's doing really, really good, but back then there was just some classic feel that just could never happen again. It was just so happy.
I'm thinking my entire life has revolved around Five Nights at Freddy's. You know, I grew up on... Like, you know it's bad when I'm a grown man making Five Nights at Freddy's videos in 2026.
Is that really what I look like, man? I need to lose weight immediately. That is really, really bad, dude.
Like, let's be honest here. This franchise is long past its prime. I got in a little late. And it's starting to sink into me that I'm probably in this video with a bunch of younger creators, and I probably sound like, oh, back in my day, I loved Five Nights at Freddy's. But I think over the years, overall, besides FNAF Yaoi, because you can't top FNAF Yaoi, and I thought it would probably be a bad idea to talk about FNAF Yaoi in a video that probably has a bunch of people under 18. Not today, FNAF Twitter. Not today. But one of my favorite moments from Five Nights at Freddy's has to be the creation of those really, really random FNAF fan games of different types of media. Like, let's take Baldi from Baldi's Basics and make him into a nightmare animatronic. Chuck E. Cheese? Nah, that's Scary Cheese now. Oh no! Scary Chucky from Five Nights at Chuck E. Cheese is here to kill me! Like, people will take anything and then just make it into a scary thing that tries to kill you. Like, what, are they gonna make Gubby next? New fan game idea, guys. Five Nights at Scary Gubbies. Oh no! Scary Gubby from Five Nights at Gubbies is gonna kill me! Oh no! Next up, they're gonna start making these fan games of real people. Oh no! Scary Jonachrome from Five Nights at the Barely Cancelled Game Creators game is here to kill me.
My name is Jonachrome and I like mining.
Yeah, as you could tell, I had no idea what to talk about, so that was it. I hope you enjoyed.
I think for me, it is hard to come up with just one favorite moment in the entirety of FNAF. If you're looking at all the different things that has happened in this franchise, it's almost impossible to just come up with one. If you're looking at in-game stuff, things like Henry's speech and the newspaper clips and all of that lore in the game, I think that is incredibly well done, and especially the Henry's speech is the greatest way to cap off all 6 games. But if we're looking at like the entirety of FNAF as a whole, personally, I think that it's gotta be the very first time Markiplier said the line.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's, an indie horror game that you guys suggested en masse.
I think it's just so perfect because it's not the first time anyone had played the game, and who knows how popular the game would have been without it. It could have been exactly the same, but it is the first proper YouTube playthrough of the game for the first time, and I think that's what makes it so special, is the fact that it's someone playing the game for the first time. And you look, we got movies, 3D games, comics, all of those now, and that's why that's my total favorite moment in all FNAF.
I'm another one of our Five Nights at Freddy's content creators. I mostly focus on discussing merchandise, so things like new releases, issues with stock, scalping, and even going out to the stores and taking you with me to go find merchandise that we're trying to find. But enough about me, I just wanted to say happy 12th anniversary to Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a franchise that's really, really near and dear to my heart, obviously, since I make a lot of content on it, and I know we all really, really love this franchise, otherwise we wouldn't be making this video or watching this video if you're tuning in. Honestly, I think when it comes to my favorite FNAF memories over the last 12 years, that's really hard to decide on. One that I would probably have to choose would be way back when FNAF first started coming out. My roommate at the time showed me Markiplier playing the FNAF games, and I just fell in love with the whole franchise and just the horror of it and the characters, and it just spiraled into where I am now. I think a lot of us have that formative moment with Five Nights at Freddy's, whether you've been around since the beginning or if you've been around since Security Breach. All of us have stumbled across Five Nights at Freddy's in one way or another over the years, and it's just amazing to see how much community can grow from one franchise that started off really, really small. Another really, really great FNAF memory of mine, I think, is when the Ruin DLC came out. I was working an evening shift at my job. I got home at like 8, 9 o'clock. I took a nap for a couple of hours, and then I was awake because the game was releasing at like 1 or 2 in the morning my time, and I streamed it on YouTube right when it released and played it until about like 7 or 8 in the morning. I played for a really, really long time, and then I stopped the stream to like gather my thoughts because I beat the game, and then we streamed again a couple hours later. And it was just so fun because it was a great stream. I made so many friends, and I just
loved chatting with everyone and playing a game for the first time without seeing any spoilers or any information. Like, I was literally just walking into this game blind, and it was amazing. But so much has happened in my life in the past couple of years, just with Five Nights at Freddy's alone. Like, I just recently got back into making my YouTube videos at the beginning of 2026 after taking a couple years of a break, and I've made so many friends, I have so many connections, and I just love chatting with everyone about Five Nights at Freddy's. It's literally, my favorite memory is just the fans and everyone who enjoys it, and just talking and having that passion for the games and the characters and the merchandise, and it's just really great, okay? And just to say, I literally, at the time of filming this, I just got a tattoo. It's wrapped up right now. It's Fun Time Freddy. I'm a Fun Time Freddy gal. There he is. He's now here. I love Five Nights at Freddy's, and you know, there's something beautiful about that. Anyway, happy 12th anniversary to Five Nights at Freddy's. Thank you to FNAF Gamer for making this amazing collab with all of these great creators and inviting me to join as well. It's amazing, and I'm so excited to celebrate with everyone this 12th anniversary. Bye!
For my favorite moment with Five Nights at Freddy's, its community, or just in general, would have to be the time I went to see the FNAF 2 movie on release date with my entire family. I mean, not like my entire family, but yeah, my family. They know how important Five Nights at Freddy's is for me and my life in general, so getting to see that important movie for me with the most important people in my life was truly a unique experience, although I did have to sit on another chair away from them because, I mean, it was the FNAF movie. I couldn't keep myself from talking, so yeah, I am kind of a spoiler when I go see movies. But it's okay because I met some other FNAF fans who couldn't keep their mouths shut, so we were just talking the entire movie, just catching every little reference and detail. Honestly, a very nice and beautiful experience for me because it's very personal to me, and yeah, one of my favorites of the entire franchise, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
And I think my favorite memory in this community is just meeting all of these people that I grew up being inspired by. It's something really cool, and getting to interact with all of these people that I once looked up to is just something I still can't believe I do.
I guess if I had to pick my favorite memory with Five Nights at Freddy's, which I guess it's a bit more recent than probably a lot of others here, it's probably when they first announced the official Dead by Daylight collaboration with the series. I think it was on like August 5th or something like that of 2024, I believe. So I think just barely 2 years ago now, where they were doing the whole like, you know, one announcement per day for the entire week sort of thing for the anniversary. And the collaboration for it was, of course, like a secret at the time. So seeing the like hype and anticipation for that was just really exciting to me. I don't know, especially since other video games like Fortnite, for example, weren't necessarily out of the picture for the collaboration. So it was just like a big guessing game on Twitter at the time. And you know, eventually when they actually showed what the collaboration was for, which was Dead by Daylight, that's a game I've been playing like regularly since 2019. So seeing both of those worlds like collide in a way was just so exciting and cool to me. It gave me a lot of like trust in the FNAF series, I guess, and that it wasn't necessarily going to be sitting out for the time being, if that makes sense at all. And it's crazy to think that it's just like been a thing for basically half my life now. I'm in a really fortunate position to be able to make content and, you know, like a little money on the side for a series I truly love and cherish. It has its ups and downs, but like, you know, it's definitely changed my life for the better.
This show is brought to you by MKG Media.
Okay, so what's my deliverables for this thing? Talk about our favorite moment / memory from FNAF and or its community. How about... No. What about that moment? No, I can't. I always have this problem when I get into something. Yeah, I like it, but if you were to ask me anything about the specific aspects I enjoy about it the most, I realize I don't have much of a deep connection into things beyond a surface level. And at some points I think to myself, do I really like anything? So I'm just gonna talk about Rebornica. If I had a nickel for every time I was invited to collaborate in a video and ended up talking about Rebornica, it'd be 2. Feel free to book me. I do birthday parties, by the way. Being a little odd kid with unrestricted internet access, I spend more time in fanon than actual canon. There's a reason a lot of my videos are nostalgia bait. Sometimes I just gotta sit down and make a video and remind people of things I watched when I was a kid to verify I wasn't crazy. Rebornica was a part of this guilty pleasure that's been a staple of internet culture for like a decade and some change. Online dubs, from creepypastas or creepypastas if you want to be weird about it, to comic dubs. The latter is where you get your gold. Starbot dubs was on a generational run, Sega VA, and etc. This is about Five Nights at Freddy's. The franchise is no stranger to comic dubs, and while there are plenty of them out there was only one comic series, besides that elephant in the room, that really made a name for itself. Yeah, I already did a video on Rebornica. I'm not doing it again. You want to know my favorite memory of FNAF and its community? Well, is this really a favorite memory if it involves a controversial person? Anyways, look, Rebornica is many things. A lot of them are not positive, but to me, they are positive. Wait, hold on. Because as corny as it sounds, their work ignited a spark in me to cherish my own creativity. The reason this question is so hard for me, the reason this question would be hard no matter what franchise is in reference to, is because unlike normal people, my hyperfixations around a piece of media wouldn't be converted into me making TikTok edits or Reader X character fanfictions on Wattpad. I'd see these successful franchises, these amazing stories, these interesting characters, and I'd say to myself, I want to do that too. And with Rebornica, it wasn't actually the FNAF stuff that impacted me, it's what came afterwards. I remember going to their Tumblr out of a curiosity for what happened to the FNAF artists that ran the community, and I found all their latest stuff now that they had jumped ship from FNAF, the same franchise that was demolishing all of their headcanon with every game that was released. They didn't go to a different franchise to do it all over again. No, they pivoted to their actual creations, their characters, their worlds, and at the time, I had characters and ideas, but I genuinely didn't think anyone would care. It was like starting a mom and pop shop on the same block as a Walmart to me. I had this idea that the world didn't care about OCs, but I was happily proven wrong. People loved to see their characters. People enjoyed seeing them. It was through these doodles, these shitposts, I realized how fun the act of creation could be. To me, this was everything I ever wanted as creative, being able to express the ideas I have for random characters I daydream about through something tangible. The point is, FNAF introduced me to one of my favorite artists, an artist that had works that showed me that this world isn't a game of consuming. And with this day and age of AI everywhere, it's important we never take our ability to create for granted.
If I were to choose a favorite moment in FNAF, I think it would have to be PAX West 2024. I think a lot of people are going to say that. That was such a great event. Having not only the demo for Secret of the Mimic, but, you know, getting to see the stuff that the regular Sauce made, those suits, those animatronics, having those games and prizes, the set pieces, just the whole thing was so cool. And in addition to the event itself, it was amazing being able to meet all of the creators that were there, the people in the community, most of them for the first time, for me at least. So that was just such a great time. Definitely, I would have to say my favorite moment in FNAF. If not that, then maybe, you know, like watching the FNAF 1 movie in theaters for the first time, or Halloween Horror Nights. But I think PAX West 2024 beats them. It's really hard to beat gathering together with the community, so I really hope we get more big events like that. Praying for PAX West this year, if not this year, then next year, but we'll have to wait and see. But those are my thoughts. Let's see what the next person has to say.
Huge thanks to FNAF Gamer 64 for having me here. It's a real honor, you're a bloody legend. Right, so I'm on a tight schedule, so let's get cracking. So, if you take just the teeniest glance at my YouTube channel, you just might be able to tell that FNAF means a whole lot to me. I mean, I don't know, I have made thousands of videos of FNAF over the course of over 8 years. But of course my love for FNAF goes much further back than the existence of my channel. So I first got introduced to FNAF in late 2014/early 2015, in the gap between FNAF 2 and FNAF 3. In the midst of me watching Minecraft videos, I kept coming across FNAF playthroughs, and then my sister told me about it. And I started by playing FNAF 2, the crappy mobile version, on a just as crappy Kindle Fire. And boy oh boy was I a pussy, shaking in me damn boots while playing. And after I stopped being such a fucking chicken, I actually started getting real cracked at FNAF 2. Funny, I played through it countless times before I even bothered to play the first game for whatever reason. And of course the traditional early FNAF fan pipeline had begun. Watching all the big YouTuber playthroughs, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie for the theories. We had, of course, Game Theory, Pretty Grumpy Bear, 8-Bit Gaming, Smike, rest in peace my goat, and all the unique creative stuff people were making as well, like the old cartoons, Pymations, of course, Fazbear and Friends, remember that one? And of course, all those old SFM videos that used the same old Splinks models. I'm sure we all remember watching Zachary37. Gotta give a special mention to the circle of FNAF YouTubers I was most obsessed with back in the day, the Pimps. Yeah, that was the name of their FNAF SFM group, the leader Hitler's Pimp. I'm not kidding, that was his name. They also had like Mr. Jericho and Milan and Gold 34 Chica and all these characters. Heck, even the Nixon, you know, who's officially affiliated with FNAF now with the Joy of Creation, was part of this group. And then they were the stupidest videos as well. They were all like MLG humor, smoke weed every day, MLG swag 420 blaze it, that kind of humor. They were so stupid. But back then, that was the shit, I tell ya. Oh, can't forget about the good old fan songs. You had all the OGs, the big popular ones, Living Tombstone, Dia Games, Trier Ninja, Groundbreaking, Mando Pony. Little did I know that at the time I had a chance with him. Oh, and how could I not mention the mythical, legendary Scott Games? That was a total hype machine. Oh my god, you just had to be there. That site just kept the hype for FNAF going just continuously with all the teasers, the hidden Easter eggs when you brighten them up and all. It was such an awesome just community event every time one of those happened. Back when Scott was so connected with the community, it'd always just troll us with those troll games and everything. Oh my god, there's some good times. And the craziest thing for me as well is that these memories, they go so far back to like all the places where I have the nostalgia for FNAF 4 are places I just don't go to anymore. I live in a different house now than I did back then. Another place I used to go to like every second day was my granda's house. This is when my granda was still alive. And he had this ancient PC down there that I would use, and it was so laggy. I remember just using YouTube on it, but it would be so slow. And there was no way in hell I could play the actual FNAF on there. So you know what I did? I played some crappy bootleg version of it on a free online website. And I'm telling you, bro, it was like 1 frame per second. Each night was like 20 minutes long, bro. And then, of course, I have countless memories of it from my primary school. For you Americans, it's the equivalent of elementary school. Okay, I just gotta tell you my favorite primary school memory of FNAF, because this is the funniest thing ever. Okay, so basically in the playground, there was this essentially park built in. The whole thing was pretty much made of wood, but it's pretty damn cool. You had little huts and bridges and slides. And the entire ground in there was red spongy stuff, so if you fell, you wouldn't actually get hurt. So here's what I decided to do in that park. So you know when you're a kid and you play these like make-believe games with your friends, right? Where you pretend to be the characters? So basically I kickstarted the game like that with like 8 or something of my friends from primary school, right? It was a FNAF 4 game, so everyone chose a nightmare animatronic. And then 1 or 2 people got to be crying child, security guard, whatever, you know what I mean. And the rules were simple. The security guard or guards just had to survive the nightmare animatronics for about 5 or 10 minutes. Now, I was always Nightmare because he was always my favorite, and he was basically the big boss of the game. The park had this boat thing with like a slide coming down it, where there was like an inside of it with like benches, and all the Nightmare animatronics would always go in there and do these meetings. But the thing is, for whatever reason, this game got very competitive and violent. I guess that's not super unexpected for a group of like 8 to 10 elementary school-aged kids. Because you see, this wasn't played out at all like FNAF 4, where you're just blocking out the animatronics with the doors. Nah, this shit was more like Dead by fucking Daylight. The animatronics would just charge at the guards and just straight up beat the shit out of them. Yeah, we would just straight up slash each other. We even threw each other off the bridges just because, you know, we'd land onto the spongy surface, so I guess that's an excuse. Yeah, things got pretty damn violent. There was also a lot of childish, heated arguments that would happen in that boat area, merely arguing about who gets to be which animatronic. Yeah, things got so out of hand that the goddamn teachers took note of it and flat out banned us from playing the game. Of course we would still secretly play it. And boy, that's just one of tons and tons of these make-believe pretend FNAF games I used to play back when I was a kid. Say, have I ever talked about the roleplay FNAF game I played with my brother that became so huge that it went on for like 5 years? I had basically created an entire multiverse, and we put hundreds and hundreds of hours into playing this make-believe FNAF world. And oh my god, I've got such a plethora of memories from that. Oh my god, but that's so huge, I can't even touch on it in this video. And hey, would you look at that? Looks like I've run out of time. And damn, I didn't even get to talk about the merchandise, which is a whole other category for me. For years now, I've wanted to do a super long live stream where for hours and hours I just ramble on about my FNAF nostalgia while playing FNAF games in the background. Trust me, that'll come eventually and that should be a blast, so I guess look forward to it. And so with that, let's wrap things up. So again, huge thanks to FNAF Gamer 64 for having me here. It's been a real blast. So I'll catch you all on the flip side.
My best moment and memory I have with FNAF was actually pretty recent, being the day the FNAF 2 movie released. And essentially what happened was, obviously I'm still in school, because like it's only the start of December, and I see that my theater has the FNAF 2 movie airing the day before it officially released, which was on a Friday. And I'm like, alright, bet, I'm gonna get ahead and see this early before a bunch of other people do, and I can make a review short on it. So I got, you know, one of them permission slips, and I said I had a doctor's appointment, because if I say I'm watching a movie, they ain't gonna let me leave. So I left school early during my 7th period with my little brother, and we went straight to that theater. I got both popcorn buckets, the stage one, and then like the square one with the character heads on the sides, and the drink with my goat toy Bonnie, so I was already hyped before we even started. And then we get to the room where it's showing, and no one is there. And I'm like, oh my god, yes. I think a lot of people just didn't know the theater had the movie earlier or something, because it was just me, my brother, and my dad. And I was so happy, because if the theater's empty, that means I can do a little whisper talking with my brother when something crazy happens. Because I can't lie, we can't keep our mouth shut. And yeah, it was a pretty awesome experience. Me and my brother just kept doing like shocked faces at each other every millisecond, and that opening scene, not gonna lie, that gave me chills. I would honestly say the parts leading up to the movie was better than the actual film, which is probably why I initially rated the movie so high, because I was just having a good day. But yeah, that's basically it. Thanks so much FNAF Gamer for having me.
My favorite moment or memory from the FNAF community was actually the surplus in the Minecraft modded like storyline playthroughs that were coming out in 2014 and 2015 after FNAF's release. That is how I got into FNAF, and that is such a core memory for me. It brought like me into the world of horror games, which I'd never really been into before. I was mostly into Minecraft when I was younger, but as these like role plays were releasing, I started getting into MatPat and Markiplier and all these other huge FNAF YouTubers, and eventually started making FNAF content myself because of them. I watched Tiny Turtle and Little Lizard and their Little Club, and let me tell you, core memory. If you guys have watched that playthrough, let me know, because oh my god, it's amazing. But that was definitely my favorite moment in the FNAF community, and I still rewatch their playthrough every year or so.
Over these last 12 years, Five Nights at Freddy's has evolved into something way bigger than just some indie game franchise. It's one of, if not the biggest horror gaming franchise in the world. And all of this thanks to just one man, its games and its community. Thank you so much, CAWTHON, for 12 years of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's, I want to thank you for 12 years. Thank you for the collectibles I've been able to get along the way, and all my FNAF community buddies that I've made friends with over the years. It's been a pleasure. And thanks to FNAF Gamer for letting me be a part of this today. I really do appreciate it. But like always, make sure to stay golden.
And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Thank you everybody who watched this video. Thank you FNAF Gamer 64 for inviting me. And happy 12th anniversary, everyone.
Happy 12th anniversary. I will throw in a quick prediction. I predict that a new teaser was shown off for the next game. Did I get it right?
Thank you FNAF Gamer 64 for inviting me. I'll see you in my other videos.
And thank you for making it to the end of the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, whatever this channel is called. And my channel as well. And all the channels of the other people in this video too.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and happy anniversary, FNAF!